What inspired you to launch a podcast focused on the senior home care industry? What inspired me to launch Senior Care Academy is I have built an in-home senior care company. So I know a lot of the struggles that people that want to get into it, most people that do senior care, they do it because they genuinely care and they want to help people, but it's a very hard industry to get into. So I wanted to try to gather all the best minds that have worked with seniors, have made stuff happen to get some insight and hopefully eliminate some barriers for people that just want to help the elderly. And also, a sub of that is people that have elderly loved ones can listen to it and get best practices and advice and tips. There's a lot of people that don't know what options are out there for their elderly loved ones, even younger than they already know of. So that's why I started it. Wanted to make it easier for the next people that just genuinely want to help seniors. Could you discuss some of the most pressing challenges facing the senior home care industry in your area? Yeah, some big challenges helping or in the senior care industry in Utah specifically. I think that there is definitely a stigma. That's a very common answer, but stigmas in Utah where it's a very close knit community and a lot of families stay close by their elderly loved ones. There's a lot of pressure, I feel like, for adult children, grandkids to be the only ones, the primary caretakers for their elderly loved ones, which is great. But there's so many resources out there through their insurance, through reverse mortgages, through savings that can help make it so that way the relationship that an adult child has with their elderly parent or a grandkid with their elderly parent can maintain and stay a loving one that's just based off of that rather than a server and a servee or the one receiving the services. So I think that's big. And then just lack of education. A lot of people don't know what is available out there, the difference between home health versus personal care versus hospice versus assisted living versus. So I think those are the two biggest challenges. Question number 3. What technologies play a crucial role in the production and distribution of your podcast? We use Buzzsprout and we use the technology called Steven. Just kidding. He's the one that manages everything. So he makes sure that all of our recording, so the cameras, the audio, everything sounds good. For distribution, we're on all major podcasts and we use Buzzsprout because it just makes it simple to push it across all mediums. Riverside, if we record virtually, we use Riverside. It's very nice. It makes the quality of the video and audio really good. What advice would you give to someone looking to start a podcast in the home health or senior care space? I would say if you're looking to start a podcast in the senior care space or home health, I think find what you're passionate about in it. I think a lot of people start podcasts because it just makes sense to do it. And then they're talking about something that they can't talk about long term. That's really the key to a podcast is just surviving. And so if you're talking about something in the home care space that you actually don't care about, it's going to fizzle. Your listeners are going to be able to hear that you don't care about it, I think, personally. And then just go for killer guests. I think that was something that surprised me the most is how quickly very high caliber people in the space were willing to come and talk to us as long as you're asking thought-provoking questions. And then question number 5, if you could advocate for 2 significant changes in regulations affecting senior home care, what would they be and why? One is funding. So Medicaid, there's different Medicaid programs that can help senior care. There's a lot of Medicare funding for home health, but one of the issues with that is a lot of times the funding is for post-accident care. So like before seniors can, through Medicare, which is for all seniors, Medicaid is financially limited. Before Medicare steps in for like home health and hospice, there's personal care, which is a lot of preventative, helping set up the home, and there's not a ton of funding for preventative senior care, things like that in general Medicare. So I would change that. Another significant change in regulations is I think a reimbursement increase too as far as federally goes. Caregivers that are going in and helping these people, it's really really difficult work, and the reimbursement rate to be able to build a business off of it can be hard compared to other service businesses. So I think those are the 2 biggest things that I would change just so that way we can provide a higher level of care, and then ideally before a life-altering event happens, we're able to be in the home making so that way they don't have an injury that shortens their life.